Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be who is working for the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So when you were in the relationship with the narcissist, you know by now that you were working for them. You were doing everything you could to improve their life, their circumstances, and their appearance. Now, back then, you didn't know what narcissism was because you were not taught this in school, so you were tricked and trapped and manipulated, and you did not know what certain terms were. Example, the trauma bond, gaslighting, the smear campaign, triangulation. You didn't know what these things were. Now you're understanding what they are, and you are coupling your real-life experience with the terms, and this equals wisdom. Back then, you didn't have the wisdom. Back then, you were a clean slate, if you will, and the narcissist knew this. They sized you up. They figured out what made you you. They approached you. They got really close to you. They maybe even professed that they loved you, even though they can't love anybody. And then they carried on that relationship for as long as it would serve them, not you, them. You see, the narcissist looks at people as opportunities. They look at people as ways to manipulate and take advantage of. They think empathy is weak. They think love is foreign, and they think your money should be theirs. This is how the narcissist slithers their way through life. They want to get as much as they possibly can, collecting broken hearts, broken relationships, bank accounts, 401ks, tangible assets, and anything else in between, and collect as much as they can and crush or destroy or ruin these people's lives that they took from. Now again, I was in the cycle. My hope is that you weren't, but you most likely were. And now you are finding out, you're figuring out what narcissism is. You found that needle in a haystack, just like all of the millions of needles behind me. There was one, and I mean only one needle in the haystack that you needed to find. And that was the key to unlock your spirit, the key to unlock the truth, and the key to unlock narcissism. You found it. That's why you're here. And that's why you're getting your cup full. That's why you are stronger than you know, and that's why you're resilient, and that's why the narcissist never thought you would see behind the mask. They never thought you would find that needle in a haystack, and they did not ever think that you would put yourself back together, but that's what you're doing. Now, who is working for the narcissist? As I mentioned, you were doing it when you were in the relationship. Think about all the bills that you paid. Many of them, they weren't even yours. Example, maybe you were paying the narcissist phone bill, or you were paying for their Amazon account or their clothes, or you were paying for vacations. How many breakfasts, lunches, and dinners did you pay for? And the narcissist would say, oh, forgot my wallet, oh, forgot my purse, or I get paid tomorrow, I'll get you back. Or I got it last time, it's your turn. And you're scratching your head saying, no, I got it the last time and the last 3 times, but what am I gonna say? No, you have to pay, and then if I tell you that, then you're gonna throw a rage fit, and here we go again. You see, the narcissist knows what they're doing. They know how to put people in awkward positions. They know how to steal people's energy, to steal people's time, and to steal people's resources. And they want to keep people stuck and trapped in that devaluation stage as long as they possibly can. And they want to keep multiple people stuck in that devaluation stage as long as they can. That is why before you met the narcissist, I can almost assure you that the people who were in the relationship with them never found that needle in a haystack. It's not that they weren't intelligent. I don't know. I can't tell you. But times are different now. Maybe back then there was no smartphone or internet service, or narcissism wasn't as prevalent at the forefront. Keep in mind, I created my first video ever, March 31st, 2021. It's called Glad You Made It. You should check it out. I have a whole playlist. 4 of those are in the series, I believe. And I'll do another one in a couple months. Glad You Made It. In that first video, I told you and I told the world that my moonshot was to raise as much education and awareness on the narcissistic abusive cycle as possible, and I would become a go-to channel for it. Guess what? Here I am, and I'm continuing to make videos, and I will continue to do so as long as I'm walking the planet. I will be helping people out. But I am no longer working for the narcissist, and my hope is you are not either. You see, the narcissist wants the unpaid helper. They want the walking apology. They want the sounding board. They want the person to cook, to clean, to do anything from take the dog out, take the cat to the vet, to sweep, to clean, to do laundry, to do anything, go grocery shopping, to be available, to stop their job and listen to the narcissist, to have their energy disrupted, their sleep patterns disrupted, their health disrupted, and their bank account and every relationship in between. And when you were in that relationship, you kept on giving to a fault. Again, You may have been a people pleaser. I can assure you, you did not have boundaries, and you did not know how to say no, the strongest word in the English language. And now that you know that no is the strongest word in the English language, you now know it's a complete sentence, and it is putting up a boundary. You are saying no to something or someone, and you are saying yes to yourself. Learn it. Having said that, the narcissist always will have people that they surround themselves with that are working for them. Now, I do mean this literally at times. So think about this. Maybe the narcissist that you know or knew had a side hustle or a business, and maybe they employed their own children or their own family members. Well, do you think they're paying them an honest wage? Probably not. Who knows? Do you think that those people are subservient to the narcissist? Yes, they are in many ways. Why? I'll tell you why. Number one, they're reliant upon the narcissist to keep them employed, and that could go away in a heartbeat. Number two, if the people, even their children or their family members who are working for them literally, if they say anything like, hey, I should get more money, etc., well, they could be the next target. You see, everybody is silenced in the narcissistic relationship. Nobody has a voice that is ever heard unless it agrees with what the narcissist narrative is. And this is how they control people. This is how they isolate people. This is how they keep people subservient upon them. And this is how they keep people dependent upon them. Let's talk about kids for a quick minute. If you married the narcissist or you raised children with the narcissist, you know that you were counter-parented. You were not co-parenting with the narcissist. You were doing everything you could to raise the kids the proper way, but the narcissist was poo-pooing what you were saying. They were not supporting you, and they didn't have boundaries, and they were more clued into being the children's best bestie or buddy or friend, or maybe even not even be around in that child's life. And you were trying to do everything you possibly could. So all the weight of that relationship fell on your hands or fell on your lap, meaning raising the children. Think about it. You were doing the job of two people. That's what you were doing. Now, there are so many layers upon layers of the narcissistic abusive cycle to unpack. I'll jump into a few more on who is working for the narcissist. Think about what a flying monkey is for a moment. A flying monkey is a person who is paying attention to you or to anybody that is important to the narcissist or who was important to the narcissist. And a flying monkey can know that they are a flying monkey, or maybe they have no idea. Children, prime example. A child doesn't know that they're a flying monkey, but that's what they are many times because they will share information with both parents. If one's the toxic narcissist and one's a healthy, stable person, well, a child is a child. They don't know any better, and they talk. That's what they do. But then flip it. Now the bestie of the narcissist, who's an adult, maybe they are spying on your social media accounts with bogus accounts. Maybe they're checking up on you. Maybe they're calling you with burner phone numbers. Maybe they're sending you emails. Who knows what they're doing? But the narcissist has people keeping tabs on you. Not trying to upset you or trigger you, but don't think for a minute that the narcissist isn't comparing their current supply source with not only you, but other supply sources, because they're always looking to see how people have done or are doing, whether they are in their life or not in their life, and they will use a flying monkey to do that. And think about what a flying monkey is again. They're a coward and they're a bully and their lives are going nowhere fast, so they're being played too. They are working for the narcissist, and they're not reaping any benefits other than allegedly thinking that they get to spend time with the narcissist, and it's such a luxury to spend time with an abuser. It's great. Eventually the flying monkeys either get targeted themselves, or they figure it out, or they stay stuck in the narcissistic fog themselves and continue to do whatever the narcissist wants because they have nothing better to do with their time. This is why you must run for the hills from these people. This is why going no contact is imperative. This is why blocking the narcissist is imperative. This is why removing all flying monkeys is imperative. And this is why you need to do this now. If not now, when? If you haven't done it or you can't do it, you need to create, develop, and get ready to execute an exit plan and get as far away from the narcissist and flying monkeys and people that the narcissist surrounds themselves with as you possibly can. Understand what I'm sharing with you. Who is working for the narcissist? It's anybody that they're associating with. Because think about this. Let's say the narcissist goes to a cocktail party or barbecue or something, and they meet a new person, and that new person has access to a beach home or something. Well, what are they going to do? They're going to work on that person either directly or indirectly to get the invite to the beach house for the holidays or for next season or whatever they want. But they're going to put on the mask for that person and make it appear or seem as if they are such a loving, kind, stable, healthy person. And what is the goal there? The goal is to get close to the person that owns the beach home, so they'll have access to it. So they'll get invited to the parties and the get-togethers, so they can rub elbows with people that are above their pay grade, and they can use those people and manipulate those people and triangulate those people and take those people's spouses and take those people's health and relationships. Now you may say, you're being a little rough, Andrew. No, I'm not. This is what these people do. It's what they were doing long before they met you. It's what they did when they were with you, and it's what they're doing right now wherever they are gallivanting the globe. You see, the narcissist has an insatiable quench for destruction and for supply and for breaking people's relationships and destroying people's lives. And this is what they do. They go through life like a bull in a china shop. They go through life like a walking, ticking time bomb. And you never know when the other shoe's going to drop when you're in these relationships. Let's go back in time again. Let's say that you had a relatively stable or calm few days when you were in the narcissistic relationship, and you, of course, you didn't know what narcissism was. Well, you would be exhaling, saying, wow, I just had a good couple days, or that weekend was really great. Wow, this is amazing. If it only could be like this more consistently. And then what would happen? Boom, hammer gets dropped, the other shoe falls, and now you're getting peppered with abuse for something you did 3, 5, 10 years ago, or something that was said about you that was made up. You see, the narcissist will throw anybody under the bus, but what they don't want is they don't want calmness, serenity, stability, togetherness, fulfillment, and growth. They don't want that. What they want is disruption, confusion, chaos, misery, deception, lies, cheating, stealing, and destroying people's lives. And all these things I'm sharing with you, I'm sure you experienced some of them, maybe all of them. But the point being is, when you were in that relationship, you were working for the narcissist. You just didn't know it. Think about how many times the narcissist would maybe be at work, or maybe be at a bestie's house or somewhere, and they would say, hey, can you just run to the store and pick up dinner tonight? I'll be a little bit late. And you would be saying, of course, I'll go pick up dinner. And then you look at your ATM card or your money, and you have little to no money because you picked up dinner last night and the night before and the night before and the night before. And every time you pick up dinner, you are paying for it. But not only that, the narcissist is not, but they're not even home for dinner, and you're eating alone, or maybe you're eating with a neighbor or somebody, who knows. But the narcissist wasn't even there, so you're spending your money, your time, your energy. And what do you think the narcissist was doing when they called you up in the evening to ask you to pick up dinner? Possibly grooming another source of supply. We will never know where these people were when they weren't with us. What we will know is that now that we have the wisdom, we don't want to know where they are. We want to know as little about these toxic people as possible. We don't want to know their hair color, where they're living, who they're with, what they're doing, or whatever happened to them. And conversely, flip it. They should know nothing about you. They shouldn't know who you're dating, where you're living, what your hobbies are, what you've done to put yourself back. They should know nothing about you. That's why peeking at their social media will never benefit you. That's why going no contact is absolutely necessary. That's why staying in communication with anybody, and I mean anybody, who is one step away from the narcissist will come back to hurt you or to harm you. Now, I'll pause on that last one for a minute. The reason why I said that is because if you are in communication with someone who is still in communication with the narcissist, that means the narcissist is keeping tabs on you whether you know it or not, and they're way too close. That's why there will be casualties of the relationship, and these will include children or stepchildren. They will include at times immediate family members or extended family members. They will include time, money. They will include friends that you had, or people in hobby groups or communities or cities, towns, states, or even countries. Because the narcissist will destroy anything that crosses its path. And specifically, once they have their eyes or the target on somebody, they will do whatever they can to blow up anything that matters to that person. And now you're understanding that. So who is working for the narcissist? It's everybody from their parents who are putting out fires or sending them money to keep them afloat because they claim they can't get a job, but what they really have is a gambling problem, or they're really doing other things with the money. It's their own children who are being unpaid helpers, and it's their kids who have to raise their siblings because the narcissist was nowhere to be found. It's their besties or their friends who are paying for lunches or dinners, or listening to the smear campaign and giving it fuel and strengthening the narcissist's resolve, having them believe in more and more in themselves and the mask. It is anybody at the workplace who tolerates the workplace bully and who doesn't get the pay raise, or who does the job of 2 or 3 people and is promised to get the corner office in that 3-week trip to Tahiti, and they never get neither, but they need their job. And what happens there? The narcissist gets the benefit. They get the pay raise, they get the corner office, they get the 3-week trip in Tahiti, and they're the one that's always leaving Fridays at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and never coming back. till Monday, but then they'll be on their smartphone Friday evening at 5 asking you, oh, did you get that 3-page report that I sent you? And by the way, I need it Monday morning at 6 a.m. This is what they do. They want to steal your energy. They want to disrupt your life. They want to ruin your time. They want to stay in your mind, and they want to keep you stuck. That's why when you get the wisdom, you need to understand you can't unsee what you've seen. The narcissistic relationship has changed you forever. It has changed you in such a way that it is unrecognizable to people who knew you before you met the narcissist and who perhaps communicate with you right now, because your mindset's completely different. You're not living in the everyday fog any longer. You're not living in the narcissistic abusive cycle any longer. You're now living toxic-free or toxicity-free, and the mundane is boring to you. The average communication with a person, you can't do it. That's why so many times, frequently post-relationship, you need to not only stay and insulate yourself in that cocoon of boundaries, but you won't be wanting to watch movies. You won't be wanting to know about the current events. You can't be watching Netflix. You don't really care about other things. And the reason why that is because you need to focus on yourself, because you're unwinding so much. And this is what will happen with you. It doesn't happen with everybody, but it happens with a lot of people, because you really need to slow your life down and process things, because you got burnt out. You were used, abused, manipulated, tricked, trapped, and taken advantage of, and you were working for the narcissist. And now somebody else is now in that spot where you were. There's a new person or a recycled person, or maybe even another narcissist who is now working for the narcissist. And they are doing everything they possibly can to either abuse the narcissist, if they themselves are one, or to put out the fires that the narcissist is starting intentionally. And their lives are going to go sideways. But remember, it's not all puppies and rainbows for the narcissist. The narcissist still has to go to bed and sleep in that tiny little brain of theirs. And what runs around is that script of abuse, the script of manipulation, the script of people going no contact on them and blocking them, and the script of all the broken hearts and broken relationships that they destroyed up until the time that they went to bed. Why I said that is because nobody in the history of the planet, there's not one person who has ever been in a narcissistic relationship and they did not receive damage from the narcissist. Now you may say, well, I know people that have been married 50, 60 years, and yeah, one person's a toxic person, maybe even a narcissist, and their spouse seems to be doing fine. Well, that's how it appears to be, but you don't know what goes on in the four walls of their house. You don't know the peppering, the abuse, the financial abuse, the money being hidden, potentially cheating going on, the triangulation going on, plates being smashed, food not being eaten, being ignored or being gaslit or being given the silent treatment for months on end. You don't know what happens in other people's homes. What you do know is what happened in your home when you were in the toxic narcissistic abusive cycle. You know how you were treated. You know you were treated less than. You know that you were working for the narcissist and working for the relationship. And you now know that that relationship was unsalvageable. It could not be saved. There's nothing that you could have done more to benefit you or that relationship. You gave everything to a fault. And just when you were low on your resources, which included probably your health and money and time and your clarity and everything, that's usually when the narcissist will discard people, or they will insert the new supply and they will twist the knife and make sure that you don't put two and two together. This is why the narcissist won't give you closure. This is why they don't care about anybody. And this is why the cycle just continues to go around and around and around in a loop. And the one common denominator, it's the narcissist, and they know it. The thing is this is why they move so frequently. This is why they can't sit still. This is why they're on their smartphones. This is why they're always looking on social media, etc., because they're trying to look for the next new person to manipulate or to fool or to hoodwink or to trick or trap or to love bomb to get them stuck in that narcissistic fog. That's what they're trying to do. And while they're doing that, I can assure you, they are spying on past sources of supply, maybe directly or indirectly, but they are keeping tabs on people that they were in relationships with. You may say, no, they're really not. Well, think again. As I shared with you early in the video, before I close this part of the video out, you do not know where they are when they're not with you. And even when they were with you in the past, you didn't know where they were mentally because they were on their smartphones. What do you think they were doing when they were sitting right next to you when you guys were allegedly watching a movie and the person who turned out to be the narcissist was sitting next to you on one of their 3 smartphones, and they were not saying anything other than, oh, just keep hitting play. Don't worry, I'll watch it later. It's fine. Well, they were grooming other sources or checking up on other people or using 1,000 filters to make a picture that they took of themselves to post it all over social media accounts that you didn't even know about. This is the inner workings of the narcissist. These are the mind games. These are the manipulating techniques. And this is why the narcissist needs people working for them. There are so many layers upon layers upon layers of the onion to be peeled back. I will share this before I close the video. The narcissist needs attention. They need time. They need people's time. They need to be needed, and they need to feel superior, and they need to feel that they're pulling one over on somebody, which means they are manipulating or tricking somebody. This is what fuels them. It's what gives them supply. If they can feel that they're winning, or that they manipulated somebody, or they got the best of a relationship, that will fuel them for a while until they fall into the next relationship, or until they target the next relationship, I should say. But see, that's not what you do. What you do is you live an abundant, clean, healthy, growth-filled life of empathy and love, kindness, fulfillment, commitment, and you do everything you possibly could do. And that's why the narcissist saw you, and that's why they captured you and tried to steal your beautiful, bright, shining light, your energy from you, but they couldn't. They did it for a period of time, but they couldn't do it any longer. And that's what they'll be missing. They'll be missing what you had. Now again, I need to reiterate something. You are one of a kind. You're a beautiful, bright, shining light, maybe even an empath. What the narcissist did to you is inexcusable. It should never, ever, ever take place again. But you didn't know what happened until you got the wisdom. You were on that roller coaster of emotions, giving everything you could to a person who was really trying to destroy you in the relationship. But now that you know, there is no excuse for the poor behaviors of these people. These people know exactly what they're doing. They put their clothes on the exact same way. They breathe the same air. And they, every morning when they wake up, have a decision to make. Am I going to stand for goodness, or am I going to continue to steal people's time, energy, money, relationships, and effort, etc.? Well, they choose the latter almost every single day. So that's why you need to understand there will always be somebody working for the narcissist. As long as it's not you, that's a good thing. Everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And keep this in mind. You were working for the narcissist, whether you knew it or not. When you were putting gas in their car, that's what you were doing. When you were washing your car, their car, that's what you were doing. When you were paying the mortgage, that's what you were doing. When you were raising the kids and they were counter-parenting, not co-parenting, that's what you were doing. And raising the kids was your responsibility. You should have done the best you could do, even if it was for a few years or longer. But that's why you're an incredible human being, because you want to raise children the proper way. Other ways you were working for the narcissist was giving them money, or putting them through tuition, paying their tuition, or giving them rides to the airport, or paying for food, or Amazon, or whatever you did, and it's not all money related, you were working for them. And they knew this. And they just dragged that relationship out as long as they possibly could, till they believed they found a better source of supply, or until they had accumulated so much cash or money that they didn't need it any longer, or until you had no more money. There are multiple reasons why these relationships end, but remember, they all have an expiration date, and they all will end. Every single one of these will end. That's why you need to get away from these people as far as you possibly can. You need to run for the hills. You need to go no contact, block them, delete them, remove them and all fly monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Yeah.